Hi, welcome to this video today, which is all about Forex trading psychology, controlling greed and fear. Now, we know the majority of traders lose because they can't get the right psychology. And, in terms of beginners, they come in the markets and they just think, well, I can control my mind, I can be disciplined. It doesn't happen for them. They quickly lose their money as discipline breaks down. Even experienced traders, trading for years, will sometimes just suddenly lose discipline and blow up their trading accounts. Now, if you want to really understand greed and fear and how powerful it is, what you need to understand is something about our evolutionary history. And you need to understand what I'm going to call the honey trap. Once you see greed and fear as a honey trap, you won't see greed and fear in the same way as most traders. You'll have a much better understanding of why greed and fear come into play and why it is so difficult to control your emotions. Now, in relation to this, I'm just going to show a quick intro clip, and it's of two people, and they've both got something in common. One was a married UK MP who had an affair, and the other is Nick Leeson, the famous trader at Barings Bank, who blew up his trading account and managed to collapse the bank. There's some quotes on this clip as well. And when you look at them, you think, yeah, those quotes are so true. But you don't see this aspect of psychological control discussed that much. So we're going to discuss it today. Here's the intro clip. It's only about a minute and a half. Then I'll be back to discuss.
Every year, students from the university volunteered to help at an international conference. Katya acted as one of the chaperones. This was how she first met the Liberal Democrat MP, Mike Hancock.
I was working with the British delegation, which consisted of British MPs and lords.
What did Mike Hancock say to you when you chatted to him?
Lots of things.
Did he make advances to you?
Can we make a break?
I met her at a conference in St. Petersburg in 2006. She was bright, intelligent, spoke good English, friendly. That was it.
It was the beginning of a 4-year relationship between the married MP and the young Russian. But Hancock wasn't the first Westerner chaperoned by Katya who would fall for her charms.
To make a killing on all the options I've been selling. Come on, baby, you can do it. Come on. Yes! Rock and roll! Dance! Can we do it?
Yeah! It's amazing. You've made back all the losses. Over $10 million.
What did I tell you? Oh, ye of little faith. You keep doubling up, and sooner or later, you're bound to win.
I'll go back off that short clip there of Hancock and Leeson. Now, the MP Hancock just fell for the classic honey trap, okay? That lady had done it to several people before. Now, in terms of Hancock, he knew what he was doing was wrong. He's jeopardising his marriage, he's jeopardising his career, but he can't stop himself. Why? Testosterone. Testosterone is influencing his brain, okay? Now, you'll notice that, he says she was bright, she was intelligent, she was funny, that was it. No, it wasn't. She's a young, pretty lady, less than half of his age. And basically, he can't control himself. The honey trap works, okay? Now, in terms of Leeson basically suffered from the same problem as Hancock, testosterone. Because if you measure biological responses in humans to both the opposite sex and money, brings out the same response, okay? So trading brings out testosterone, okay? And once the steroid hormone has locked your brain, it's very difficult to break that feedback loop, okay? Now, a lot of people say to me, at seminars, what's the best way of controlling greed and fear? And you often go through, the biology side, because the biology side is just so important. You just think back, that's what I normally say, to when you were younger. I'm sure everyone's had this experience. You're very interested in someone of the opposite sex, but deep down, you know they're not interested in you. But you're still going to pursue themselves, and you're going to end up looking stupid. You're just going to do it, okay? Testosterone has locked your mind. Now, in terms of testosterone, that comes into play in Forex trading, but so does another steroid hormone called cortisol. Now, in terms of our evolutionary history, okay, before we became sophisticated, levels of those hormones would not remain elevated for very long, okay? If they remain elevated for too long, there's real problems for us. And in trading, they could be elevated for too long. They will cause traders to lose. I just want to do a quick summary of both testosterone and cortisol and what happens when levels remain high for too long. Then what we're going to do is come back and discuss how to overcome what I'm going to say is the feedback loop of those steroid hormones locking your brain and basically, making you do things that you know you should not do. Right, quick storyboard, then we'll be back to discuss. I'll go back off that short summary there of what happens when testosterone and cortisol levels stay elevated for too long. And it's dangerous if they are. And, it's not our natural state to have those hormones elevated for too long. If you think back, let's say, for instance, testosterone, to when we first came on the earth, they get elevated. Let's say you're attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, okay? Testosterone go up, you'll fight, hopefully you'll get away, then those levels will drop straight back down again. Now, there was no money in those days either, okay? Today, money is so important to so many people. In fact, to many people, it's just a total obsession. It's absolutely dangerous because it triggers testosterone, okay, when you're making money. Now, in terms of this body-mind lock, these steroid hormones, and the impact they have on you, it's huge, okay? Just to reinforce this point, I'm sure this has happened to most people, okay? I've been walking along a road, okay? Done this quite frequently, actually. Then I've crossed it, I haven't really been looking out for cars bearing down on me, and I'm immediately moving out the way. Now, I'm not thinking about it. those steroid hormones have locked me and told my mind to do it, okay? Let's say you're walking down the road, someone hits you. What do? Immediate testosterone goes up and you fight back. You're not thinking. The steroid hormones have a massive impact on your mind. In terms of our evolution, it's essential that they do because they helped us survive, okay? Now, in terms of testosterone levels, just to give you an example of what happened to me this week, and I'm pretty experienced in behavioural psychology, but I came into the week, everything about my analysis done, I thought was correct. I was feeling totally confident. The whole week was like running racks in pool. I hardly had a losing trade. Big winners, really minor losers. Get to Friday, chatting to a trader on Skype, and he's saying, how much have you made? Well, I said, well, I had a horrible drawdown the month before. I've got all of that back, and I've got half of what I would expect, my annual profit target to be, or half my annual profit target. And he goes, we should pack in and have a rest then. I said, well, but I'm just watching this crude oil trade, a big crude oil trade on. I just want to see if it melts into the close. And I threw in a few more positions while I was at it. And then crude bounced a little bit. I realised I was over leveraged. Thought, Andrew, you're breaking your own rules here. You better get out. So I shut down. It was a good week. That was it. Had a few drinks and forgot about trading, which is what I should have done earlier in the week, really. Because normally my profit target is when I get to 10%, I normally shut down. I might open up again, but I shut down everything just because I know that, testosterone can take over. And, I kind of went against my own rules, although last week, I'm just so confident. But when I reflect, I did go a little bit against myself. That's testosterone coming into play. And, it can hit lots of traders. You get bank traders, not just Nick Leeson. Okay, how often do you see a bank trader blow up in the news, or he blows up an account? It's testosterone. Okay, so you've got to control it. The best way to control it is to have set profit targets and adhere to them. That's the way you cut out, okay? What you should do when you come into trading is basically have a target. If you've got it, be happy with it, and take your money. Doesn't matter if things run on. You've got to call an end to the game, okay? So you can shut down or cut back your position size, at least protect what you've got. Most traders don't do this. They will just keep trading in a frenzy, and eventually their good run comes to an end, and that's it. They lose all the money back they had, more, but could even end up with a whopping great loss because, testosterone is just making them take too big a risks. Now, in terms of cortisol, this is a really dangerous steroid hormone because not only can it help you lose at trading, it's also very dangerous to your health. You can get ulcers from stress and you can actually die from stress. And in terms of when it comes into play in trading, and those levels stay high for too long, causes a lack of confidence in your trading. You're starting to see dangers when they're not there. You're not doing the right things. And, you have that inability to pull the trigger. Sometimes you'll actually fight to get the loss back and get even more frustrated. Cortisol, so dangerous, okay? I've mentioned in losing periods, obviously what you should do is not try and come back too quickly. Stop trading for a while, cut back to minimal size, try and get some confidence back. And in terms of me, I had a real problem with cortisol. I was managing a fund once, and basically I dropped it by about 250,000 on one trade. And the damage it did to me, I can still remember. I still wake up in the night sometimes remembering that trading loss. I was ill, physically ill, came out in a rash all over my body, couldn't sleep, had anxiety attacks, very, very dangerous, okay? And I think, when you think about your mind, think about your body as well, because your body will have an impact on the way you think, okay? And I think, just being aware of it will help you overcome those steroid hormones and making you do things that you shouldn't. Now, in terms of the beginning of this video, I obviously did those quotes over that little clip from Rogue Trader with Nick Leeson in it. They come from the excellent book called The Dog and the Wolf by a guy called John Coates. It's a fascinating read about biology and trading. I mean, I just consider it a must-read book. I couldn't put it down when I first read it. I've read it several times since. Now, in terms of why the title, The Dog and the Wolf, it comes from medieval France, where they used to believe that at some time in the night the dog would change into a wolf. And think of yourself, when you're trading, you always want to be a dog, okay? You don't want to turn into the wolf. I'm just going to finish off with a quick clip, which is again about that MP, Hancock, we saw earlier on. And there's a professor of psychology saying something about him. And it kind of made me laugh. It probably made you have a smile as well. How stupid was he? But that lurks within all of us. That is the video for today. Thanks very much for watching me. Take care and have a good day.
Is The Honey Trap purely a Hollywood fiction?
No, gosh, no, it's not. Of course it's not. It's only fiction for governments and countries that play by some kind of sense of rules, whatever that may be. Honey trap is used extensively.
The fact is that a honey trap spy represents a very real and present threat. Gullibility must come into it by definition, because, what sensible 60-year-old man thinks a 22-year-old woman has found the love of her life in him? I'm not saying it never happens, but it's very, very unlikely.